Hi everybody, it's Sally from Sally Stampers. Thank you for joining me today. Now, you know how much I love this Tropical Escape suite. I absolutely adore it and I can't stop using it, and I love it so much that I actually wanted to make a box card with it. I thought I wanted to show off all those beautiful stamps and die cuts and elements, the beautiful DSP, and I absolutely love it. So this one, this box card, as you know with most, will lie flat or fairly flat. Sadly it doesn't fit in a C6 envelope, one of our envelopes. I did just check and it's just a fraction too high, so you'd have to go for a slightly bigger envelope. But I love this. Obviously, as I say, I've just put a little bit of decoration and a little sentiment on the front, and on the back there is a panel for you to be able to write as well. So obviously you could put whatever message you wanted on the back there. But yes, there is a lot of die cuts, and trust me, I know there's a lot of die cuts. I decided to prep this video, I think it was about 9 o'clock at night, and I literally sat and stamped and die cut all of these, and I was absolutely melting by the time I'd finished. It did take me a while, but I have to say it was worth it because I do love this. I think it's super cute. I may as well put all my bits out in piles now, hadn't I? I absolutely love it. I love this suite. I love the colours. I think it's just the whole tropical thing that I just love it. And so yeah, so I thought, right, I shall make this up. And I actually didn't put this on initially, and then I thought the front looked a little bit bare and it looked a bit plain. So I stuck this on, loved that, but then I had to do 2 more of each. So yeah, it did take me a little bit of time, but it's worth it. And I'm hoping that your recipient will like it too. As you can see, there is simply just 2 shelves or lines inside. And yeah, I just love it. I think it's cute. So I'll show you how to make it. As I said, I have done all of this already because I didn't want to be die cutting, gluing, stamping, cutting all of these, because I think this would have been about a 45-minute video. So I did all of this ahead of time. But obviously everything is on my blog. The only thing I really need to tell you are the colours. So this one is, I'll grab my bit. So Tropical Chic stamp set, as I say, I love it. It's my favourite. So this fern type bit here, and I apologise that I don't know the name of all the plants. This fern type one here is this one, and that was stamped in Lemon Lime Twist. And just grabbing my tropical thinlets, which are falling off the backing because I've used them so much. Just shows that they're loved, I guess. I just used the outside of this one to die cut that one. This is the inside, and Tranquil Tide, which has done this one. Beautiful little inside of the fern bit. And then I just want to call this one a cheese plant, and I don't know why, but this is Lemon Lime Twist on the outside and Granny Apple Green on the inside. And I did use a Granny Apple Green whole backing to keep the inside in place, that makes sense. So there's 3 of those, and again that is this is the outer part that I use for the back, and then obviously you put that in the middle and die cut to get your sort of frame, and then that on its own to get the Lemon Lime Twist bit in the middle. Obviously the flower speaks for itself. It's this little one here that I stamped in Blushing Bride. And this one is this fellow here, which again is just the outside, stamped in, that's probably not the best one because it's slightly off centre, stamped again in Tranquil Tide, and then just used to die cut it out. So as you can imagine, me doing all of that with you guys would have taken far too long, so I just thought, well, I'll do it all ahead of time, and then I can just show you how I stuck them and layered them as they are. So we'll pop that away. That can go over here because I'll need it for the sentiment. So I'm doing this one in Lemon Lime Twist. This one was obviously in Blushing Bride. I still have the DSP here. I'm going with that pretty one this time. So you need a strip of cardstock for your actual base of your card that is 12 inches by 3 inches. I've not written this down in centimetres, do apologise, it will be on my blog. Let's have a quick look. So it is approximately 7.5 centimetres by 30.5 centimetres. And then you just need to, in fact, let me do the scoring on my trimmer and then I should be able to give you some vague measurements for the centimetres. So let's push the blade out of the way because we don't want to be cutting by mistake. So literally scoring on the long side only, we're going to score at 4 inches, 5.5 inches, 9.5 inches and 11 inches. And so let's see if this will work out in centimetres. So we've got 10 centimetres, 14 centimetres, 24 centimetres and 28. There we go. I'm going to jot that down. It'll save me messing about with it later. So I do apologise. Bear with me 2 seconds. So what do we go with? 10 and 14. And then we have 24 and 28. Beautiful. Don't know how I missed doing that one in centimetres. Probably because it was so warm when I was doing it. Right, so you need a panel of Whisper White and a panel of DSP, and you also need 2 side panels of DSP. So the front and back, because I haven't done this in centimetres either, is 3 3/4 inches by 2 3/4 inches, which is 9.5 by 7. I'm going to jot that down as well. Okay, and that obviously goes for the white as well. So I'm just going to stick my DSP on the front. So that will go on this panel here. And then my 2 side panels are 1 1/4 by 2 3/4, which is 7 by 3.5. Fabulous. So get that one stuck on as well. Thankfully this doesn't have a pattern that determines whether it's upside down or the wrong way, so that's always handy. And then just before I stick this one on, I want to stamp on the back. So I've got Lemon Lime Twist again here. Oh, come on. And I have some stamp set here, and I am just going to go with Thank You again. So I'm just going to stamp that onto the centre just there. And as always, I have my good old Stampin' Scrub to one side. So I'm just going to pop that away, and while I'm here I'm going to grab You Are the Greatest. I'm going to stamp that on my strip of Whisper White that I have here. Just there. Not very straight, that isn't. Let's try again. Right, let's line this up so we've got a better chance. So blocks on straight, lining it up with my grid paper as best I can. Let's try again. Oh my goodness, it goes the other way. Never mind, we'll sort it out in a moment. So that's that part done. Put that to one side for a moment. Let's stick this on. So this is my Whisper White panel for the back, which again just sort of sits nicely on there. Now if you knew who you were sending this to, you could always write on it now while it's flat. It doesn't matter though, because obviously it does fold fairly flat, but it's still not ideal. You could write at the bottom here, but I would probably write on it now while it's completely flat. So let's just grab some tear and tape on this one. So again, just going with 2 strips to keep it in place. Excuse my silly stomach gurgling away here. So that's that bit done, and then we obviously need to fold and burnish these score lines so that we get our nice square or oblong card. That's that done. And then just simply take the backing off and make this into our box. Beautiful. So there's our box already. And then you then need 2 strips to put ledges on the inside. So these are 5.5 inches by 1, which is 14 centimetres by 2.5. I'm just going to write that down because I miss. And then we score at 3/4 on each end, which is 1/8 of an inch, which is annoying. But I guess you could possibly go to 2. Yeah, go to 2 centimetres. I think that's better. So on both of these, we just do the same score. So 3/4 of an inch or 2 centimetres. And then on the first one, we simply fold this over and again give them a nice burnish. And then same with the second one. But what I would do with the second one is trim your ends just slightly. And the reason being, I had a bit of a blonde moment when I did this and realised that if these were both the same length, and let me just show you. So my first one sits like this, the edges butt right up to there. If I did the same with this one, it sat flush to the front. Yeah, blonde moment. So you can either trim these just a fraction off one. My phone keeps vibrating, do apologise. Fraction off one and probably half of the other. I've not adjusted the measurements because it was just too much of a headache. And my fuse has run out. Good job I have another one standing by. So back in with, not fuse, sorry, tear and tape on the ends. It's always a bit fiddlier when this roll is a bit thicker and a bit bigger. So that's that one. And again, I'm only going to go with 1 on this. I don't think I need to put 2 on this one because it will stay in place anyway. So that's that done. Piercing tool. So the slightly larger tabs are going in first. And like I said, you pop. If you can hold this end in, if you've got sort of long enough fingers to hold that end in, pop this one in and get it flush with the top here and make sure it doesn't drop down. And then you put this one in so it goes right up into that corner and it's level at the top. So you get that effect, okay? Do exactly the same with this one, except these bits now sit behind the first bit. So those off, and then you will need a full roll of glue dots because trust me, you're going to use a lot of them when you stick this on. So that will sit behind the first one, likewise with this one. There we go. And then if you want to, you can sort of just give it a squeeze flat and that just makes sure that the adhesive's stuck. And there we have our basic box, and then we just need to build it up. So as you can see with this one, I've started off at the back with the larger, taller ones and 2 rolls of glue dots here because this one's quite empty. So I'm going to start off with these, which simply I pop a glue dot at the base just there on all of them. So I just work my way along, hence me saying you need a full roll of glue dots. So keep one to the side because you're going to have to put that one on the front. And then all I did was just popped them in place across the back. So the first one or two I put either side, and then these ones I just sort of layered. You can add them at a bit of an angle to mix it up a little bit. So that's those ones in place. And the good thing with glue dots is that you can actually give them a bit of a wiggle and a move before they set too much. Likewise with these, so I'm just going to pop that and that to the side because they're going to be for my front. So back in I have 3 of these beautiful ones, and again it is simply a case of, well, I'll just put those, here they are. So 3 of my glue dots. You just need to be careful with these because they are very delicate and they do tear easily. So there's one. So I always use my piercing tool when I take these off because I don't want to tear them and I don't want to have to die cut a load more. So these simply sit over these ones. So again, just put them however you like, and then just to give that added dimension, I sort of pulled them slightly forward and just creased them just a little, just so they sat away from these ones at the back. So you've now got that kind of look going on, and it just, as I say, it just makes them look like they're standing prouder. And then next up we have these beautiful, as I call them, the cheese plant ones. And again, these go, oh, I have done that right, I was having a moment then. So these go on the next shelf bit, if you like. So again, just the glue dots on the back. So these just simply sit, just move that out of the way. So these just sit on this front one here. So I'm just going to stick these on the centre, just like that. And I've got my finger inside here, squeezing between the 2 shelves, as it were, just so that I can squeeze the glue dot in place. You then need a couple of these. So, again, back in with the glue dots. This time the glue dot's going to go on the front, and I'm just going to stick it on that stalk there, and then these just sort of come out and stick onto these cheese plant type ones, just at an angle, just to again add a bit of colour. And then these front ones here, you've got your flowers. I was just checking, I thought I'd stuck some to the back, but clearly I didn't. So these now sit, again, oh no, a bit of a glue dot on the back. So you've got 3 here. This one, as you can see, when I stamped and die cut it, it moved. But I'm not too worried because if you look, this one is at a slant, so I'm actually going to use that. And I've put the glue dot on the front, haven't I? Silly me. Let's just take that off there because I don't want it. And then pop one on the back. So this one is going to go, in fact, let's give that little tail a trim there because I don't need all of that. So that's going to sit at an angle there. This one, again, slight angle there, and then this one there. And then we have our flowers, 3 beautiful flowers here, which again I've just sort of added a couple of glue dots to these, one either side. And it is just a case of building up from small to, from large to small, from back to front. And again, we're just going to pop these flowers on in front of these, and they're kind of overlapping the gaps, if you like. Put them whichever way you wish. And then you'll notice that I have two tops of this one. Again, glue dot on the front of this one, because these are literally just going to sit just here. And they are just to add a bit of a lighter colour to the front and to just add another layer almost. And it's just poking through. You could add another one here. Just go with whatever you feel. And that's pretty much it. That's your box card layered up. Pretty cute. So you just need to decorate the front here, which is again, as I said, so just one of these, glue dot front and on the end, and it just sits there. This one goes over the top. Let me just get rid of that. So that one just sits over the top there. And then my flower has a couple more, and it just sort of covers the stalks there. And so there's my pretty flower. Again, if you wanted to give this a bit of lift, you could just pop that on. And then we just come back to our sentiment, or my wonky sentiment. So I'm using some of the lovely textured weave granite apple green ribbon, and I just want to trim to there, and then I'm actually going to just give it an angle there. Back in with the good old tear and tape, if I can get the end there, and just pop some of that on. And this then obviously just goes on the front. And I just sort of lined it up with the edge there. And you can either tuck it under these or leave it however you wish, or do it a bit shorter. And then we just come back with our sentiment, oops, which is very wonky. So I'm going to try and cut this straight if we can. This is where I make a complete hash. So that looks fairly straight. I bet you're looking at it saying, no, it's not, Sally, it's really not straight. I'm not the best at doing stuff like this. Right, so give that a trim. Right, let's move that out of the way. I think I need to change my blade because that's not cutting cleanly now. Okay, so I just want to take some of this off. I can tell that's not straight here, but hey ho. And then just simply make my little banner tail here. And then I did actually use good old tear and tape again because it's sitting over the ribbon. And I just popped a length in the centre and then popped it onto my card. And this also sat level, whoops, with, there we go, press that down, get it stuck on, and there are my box cards, my totally tropical box cards. I hope you liked them, hope you enjoyed it, and I'm so glad I didn't do all this die cutting now because we're at 24 minutes and that would have taken me so much longer. It's fiddly enough as it is, but I hope you like them, hope it's given you some inspiration and some ideas to build your own box cards. Have a great day guys, and I'll see you all again soon. Bye!